So look, there is only one reason to go into a journey of building a company, and this is about creating value. You want to create value. The simplest way to create value is solve a problem. So when you want to create value, you basically say, this is the problem I'm solving. These are the audience that I'm solving this problem to. And then you know that you're going to create value for them. I'm Uri Levine, founder of Waze and author of the book Fall in Love with the Problem, Not the Solution. This class is all about why you should be focusing on the problem and not the solution. So the book is called Fall in Love with the Problem, Not the Solution. And there are a few reasons why I call that this way. Because at the end of the day, when you start with the problem and then address that in order to build a solution, you increase your likelihood of being successful. So when you are falling in love with the problem remains the North Star for your journey. And then it makes much easier to go into this journey. There will be less mistakes. There will be less pivoting if the problem is real. It also dramatically helps to tell a better story, right? Because when you tell a story about the problem, you create emotional engagement with the audience, regardless if the audience are investors or users or whomever. Because if you think about it, if I would be here in 2007 and I will tell you I'm going to build an AI-based crowdsourced navigation system, then no one cares, right? But if I will tell you I'm going to build a system that will help you to avoid traffic jams, then all of a sudden we do care. So the problem remains a way better story, increase the likelihood of remaining focused on that, and increase the likelihood of being successful. So the way started with a real problem. I hate traffic jams, right? And at the end of the day, we were basically focusing on helping drivers to avoid traffic jams on their daily commute. Now, the journey started because I was back in 2006, back in the northern part of Israel. And when we were on vacation there, and when it was time to drive back, Israel is a small place. At the end of the day, there are only two major routes that you can take, either this route or this route. And we were about 10 cars there, and we were the last one to leave. And so I called up every other drivers and asked them, how is traffic like on their path? And I ended up with realizing that this route is way faster. And I took this route and I realized that all I have to do is have someone ahead of me on the road that will tell me what traffic light is, and then I can choose the fastest route. So that was the essence of realizing that, okay, wait a minute, there is a way to address that if I have other drivers ahead of me. Now, we only started Waze back in 2007, and look, if I would have a time machine and I will send you back into 2007 and I will tell you this is what I'm going to build, your reaction is going to be, this will never work. And that was the reaction that we heard constantly. But everyone likes the idea that we are going to address the problem of traffic jams and we are going to help drivers to avoid traffic jams. So when you are, like most startups, solution focused, and someone will ask you what exactly you are doing, then you will tell them, my solution is doing this and this and this, right? Or my startup is doing this and this and this, and you focus on your solution. If you will be focusing on the problem, the story that you tell anyone that is going to ask you, so what are you doing, is going to start with, I'm solving this problem, right? So the problem is going to be the main thing. And alternatively, the user is going to be the main thing, right? So your story will be, I'm helping you to avoid traffic jams. I'm helping you to solve this problem. This is the value that I'm creating for you. And if you are focusing on the user or focusing on the problem, you already increase the likelihood of being successful. If you focus on the solution, then what it's going to be like is that you're going to build a solution and then you will be going to search for a problem that this solution creates value for. And so your journey is going to be way longer and the likelihood of being successful is way lower. So to summarize, if you can say, I'm solving this problem for these types of users, you actually in a very good starting point because you are focusing on the problem, you know what's your value proposition for the users, and you essentially have a North Star that is basically saying, this is the problem I'm solving, this is the value proposition to the users, and these are the users, and this is the essence for starting a startup.